a chocolate caramel slice. Now, there's 3 stages. We're going to build it up with a sort of pastry, biscuit type base, caramel centre, and then chocolate ganache on top. First of all, I'll turn the oven on to 180 degrees. That's done. And I've got 4 ingredients. You'll notice with the recipe, it's divided into 3 sections. Okay. The top section, we've got flour, coconut, brown sugar, and melted butter. Right. Very simple. Everything goes in the bowl. Just going to bring it together with our hands and then press it into the tin. So everything's evenly mixed in together. Pretty happy with that. It's coming together nicely. As long as we can squeeze it together and get it to pump like that, we can definitely get it pushed into the tray. What I've got here is a small roasting tray. Made with a little bit of oil to help the paper stick. So I've got a sheet of paper that I want to put in here. I'm going to cut 45-degree angled cuts to the sides just to help the corners fit in. Making sure the baking paper comes all the way to the top, because although this layer isn't going all the way to the top, by the time we've finished putting the 3 layers, we're pretty close to the top. All of this has to hold on in here, and then it gives your hands to press it down. Press it as firm as we can, and try and make it as even as possible. That is now ready to bake in the oven at 180 degrees for 15 minutes. The time has gone on for our base for the caramel slice, so we're going to do that. As you can see, nicely cooked, set on the top. That's the first layer. So we're just going to let that cool slightly on the bench before we make the second layer. The second layer is very straightforward. Melted butter, golden syrup, 2 tins of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. Golden syrup in there, sweetened condensed milk. Give that a little mix. And into that, the melted butter goes. All we're trying to do here is really get everything mixed together to make the whole mixture nice and homogeneous. I'm just going to put whisk in there just briefly, just to make sure I pick up all the syrup in the bowl. Make sure everything is going in there. Once everything's combined, it simply goes back on top of the biscuit base that we've already made. Rebake this for another 15 minutes at the same temperature at 180 degrees. Sure, it's pushed out, so we're covering all of the biscuit base. What's going to happen, this is going to cook to a lovely dark caramel while it's in the oven. While this is in the oven, we're going to start preparing the ganache, which is going to be the 3rd layer on top. And this one goes 180 degrees for 15 more minutes. So after 15 minutes, we're going to take the caramel slice out of the oven. What we're checking for here, nice bit of golden caramel colour on top, and set firm. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop that into the fridge, just cool slightly while I make the ganache. The ganache we're making, some chocolate here, some cream here. So we'll bring the cream to the boil. I've just half melted the chocolate on top of the cream as the cream was heating up. It doesn't need to be fully melted because the heat from the cream will do the job of the rest. Once the cream comes to a boil, I'm going to pour that over the chocolate, just let it stand for a moment. That should melt the chocolate through, and then give it a bit of a stir and make sure it's all combined and completely emulsified. So, pour the cream over the chocolate, make sure it's all submerged. Just give it a moment for the heat to do its job. What I've got here is some white chocolate. I'm just going to pipe over the top, more of a decoration. Not essential, but again, something nice to do. After a minute or so, the chocolate's standing here, I'm going to whisk it just to make sure it's all completely combined. At this stage, if it's not combined, we can just put it back on a bain marie to soften it. There should be enough heat here to melt the chocolate to create a nice smooth ganache. Ganache is essentially cream and chocolate. The cream is boiled over the chocolate to melt it, and it gives you a smooth paste, which when cooled becomes a little bit soft chocolate. What I'm doing here, I'm just making sure I've got all the large pieces of chocolate melted to make a smooth paste. See my white chocolate melting nicely here. I get the chocolate half melted on the bain marie and then just take it off and let the residual heat finish it off. White chocolate, it can be very temperamental to work with. I'm happy with my ganache now. It's nice and smooth. There's no lumps of chocolate. It's all liquid. At this point, I'm going to get the caramel slice back out to the fridge. It's still quite hot. It's not fully cold yet. It doesn't need to be for this one. We've put the top on now and decorate it, and then put it in the fridge all together to fully set. Just going to let it run to the surface. At this point, you don't really want the slice to be too cold anyway. The warmth from the slice helps keep the chocolate fluid while you're trying to smooth it out. Give it a shake. Because it's so warm and fluid, we find it's on level. We're just going to finish up with some white chocolate. So, pipe some lines across this way, and you've got a toothpick here to the pepper while the chocolate's still fluid. Chocolate is one way, and really a toothpick and drag it one way, and the other way. And that's it, finished. So it needs to go in the fridge now for an hour or so to set, then we cut it into small pieces. Once we cut it into small pieces. Nice as an afternoon tea, biscuit, even very small slices as a petty for